So lovely to see you all. I'm going to tell you a story about a February day in 2016, late winter in Hamilton, Ontario, dirty, crusty snow and ice everywhere. And I lived several miles away from the university I was working at. I was really happy to have this job. I didn't have much of a commute. And I'd given up tenure to move to Canada. And I thought, maybe I found a landing spot. And I had just learned on this February day that my 2-year renewable contract wasn't going to be renewed. And I'd done all the right things. And I was inconsolable. And so I walked home through snow and ice in boots that I ruined, sobbing, because I didn't want to get on the bus crying. And so I sobbed and I kind of screamed at the sky, and I maybe called some people some bad names. And I was profoundly unhappy. And it didn't seem fair because I'd checked a bunch of boxes, and looking at my life to the left and to the right, I had a lovely husband and a really good marriage, 2 beautiful, wonderful children, a dog I adore, a great house in a fabulous neighborhood. I had lots of things that I loved. And then I got this blow that my restart of my career in Canada wasn't going to pan out the way I thought. And I was grieving and sad, and then I was angry, and then I was sad again, and then I was angry. And it took a while for me to get off the couch. I spent some time holding down the couch, making sure it didn't fly away. But as I got off the couch and went out into the world a little bit more, I finished out my contract, I took care of my students through this grief and pain. And now, at this point in my career where I do something different, I work with a lot of people who are professors who look to the left and to the right and say, I have the income, I have the relationship, I have the job, I have the title, I have the book. Why am I so unhappy? And I thought that having all of those things, PhD, job, tenure, book, kids, husband, dog, house, those are the ingredients for happy. And so I'd had them for a while and I wasn't overjoyed. And then one of them got taken away from me and I was really not overjoyed. And I'm like, I cannot pin happiness to an institution that may or may not employ me, right? My happiness cannot be their job. My happiness has to be my job. And what I've come to realize, and what I try to offer people, and I think it's really hard to hear when you're walking home through the snow and ice and stomping your feet and screaming at the sky, but at some point, maybe your ears open up and you can hear, and I eventually heard, isn't this beautiful? Because I thought that once I had the PhD, maybe I was done, right? I'd accomplished it. I'd climbed the peak. Oh, no, you got to get a job. All right, fine, got the job. Ooh, there's another peak. That's good. Thought I was, no, not done yet. Tenure and the book with the publisher. That's the peak. And I think maybe it's true in your career or people you know. It was certainly true in mine. There was this notion that I was going to climb the peak and I was going to get to the top and write my name in the little summit book. And it's, you ever buy a butterball turkey? Right? And they come with those little thermometers, and when it's done, it beep, pops out, right? I thought that at some point, like the butterball turkey thermometer popped, and I was done. And I realized what I was so pissed and sorrowful about was that I wasn't done, and that I had to go back out into the world and do more hard things. And I did not want to do hard things. I did not want to have to change. I did not want to have to grow. I did not want to have to start over at square one. I did not want to be ignorant because I had done all of these things. I was at the top of the mountain. So trying to piece together, what is happiness if it's not checking off all of these things? What is happiness if you can't rely on an employer to treat you well and give you that beautiful community to do good work in forever? Where is my happiness going to come from? And the gift in not having my career pan out the way I thought it was going to, all of my teachers thought it was going to, all of my publishers thought it was going to, right? To have my career go completely off script is that I've left a path where, I'm not headed into the oven as a butterball turkey anymore. I'm not climbing, pick your metaphor, right? Like I've climbed lots of mountains, but you don't stop. And I think there is amazing liberation in saying, if I don't get to the top of the mountain and say I'm done, what else is there? There's curiosity, there's possibility, there's growth mindset, there's going deeper inward, right? Instead of what am I doing for all of the people out there? And I don't think I ever would have learned who I am had I not had my career go completely off script. And I have moved, and it did not happen overnight. I have moved from this resentful spot of, why am I not done? I wanted to be done. And because I think done comes with accomplished, professional, respected. Right? It's an arrival place. And I think there's a fallacy about the arrival space. And so I've arrived at lots of places, and I hope that we all have many destinations that we can arrive at. And we don't want to be the butterball turkey. We want to be the alpinist who continues to hit those peaks. And that's certainly what I'm looking forward to now. And the hope that I want to give people, regardless of whether your job is a delight or not, you're not done. Don't think you're done. Done is actually kind of depressing. So that is what I have to offer you today. And thank you so much.